Hi, friends. Welcome back to Mandy and Tarot. We are going to jump in today with two collective readings. We're going to be working with Rose Quartz and Violet Flame Agate. So, if you could take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. Call all pieces of you back to yourself and see which stone is resonating with you today. Is it the pink rose quartz, or is it the violet flame agate? I'll let you sit with that for a moment. All right, take another deep breath in, breathe out, open your eyes, come back to the room with me. We're starting off today with the rose quartz crystal. Those of you who chose the rose quartz, we are reading with the Goddess of Love Tarot, and we are beginning with the Witch of Swords. Witch of Swords has been put into a little bit of a pickle, a predicament. Right here, she's finding herself having to use her sword, having to enact boundaries to help around relationships of the heart. And so I really feel like there may have been some past injustices that happened, some things that really hurt, and she's finding herself having to be a little more protective. FYI, I use gendered terms, but this is for any gender. So we've got past injustices of the heart and dealing with the aftermath of that. And so I think what this card is really signifying is that it's okay to be a little protective of yourself right now. It's okay to center your healing and rediscover what boundaries make you feel comfortable in different relationships. Whether these are relationships from the past that you've had issues with, that you're working on fixing, or if it's you're creating a new scene for the relationships of your future. And I want to look back. So to the left in the past position, we have the Eight of Cups reversed. So this is a sign to me that you've left some things in the past. You may have walked away from certain situations, but it is reversed, and so it does feel incomplete. I get a sense that past energies are still lingering in your life. That cuts were not made clean. That you may be feeling regrets, or other people are feeling regrets, and those energies are being projected towards you. So I think it's really important to go back to this Witch of Swords and think about what it means to heal yourself. What does it mean to protect your heart? What does that mean moving forward? Have you enacted new boundaries? Have you really let go? Have you given yourself time to process? It's okay that some of these things spiral in and spiral out of our lives. I think what's important is that we recognize when they show up for us, so we can breathe in, feel those emotions, and breathe out and completely let go. I like to visualize a leaf floating down a river, so you can see that issue, that tie, that connection floating away from you peacefully. And knowing that there are other things on the horizon for you. What we do have coming in is the Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups, kind of a mixed bag. It can be really good because you have a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that you could be dreaming about, wishing to bring in. The hard part of that can be the illusion and the focus on what's out there next versus what are you doing right now for yourself. And so I think it's a beautiful time to visualize, how you would like to see those next steps going. I really love that these roses have these little pearls coming out, and it kind of reminds me of tears, and the tears are filling up the cups. And these new sort of visions or hopes and dreams are filling in at the bottom there. So great time to journal, great time to think about what it is you want, but not to get too carried away by the fantasy. Fantasy, that's the word I was looking for. So coming back to what is it that you can do to take care of yourself? What is it that you would like to see different in your relationships moving forward, whether that's from the past, current, future? This is your time to dream. And remember, it's okay to take care of yourself in the meanwhile. You don't need others to verify, give credit, give value to your worth. That's something that you give to yourself first and foremost. So check in with yourself. Are you looking for that external validation, or are you strong within yourself? And it's okay if you don't always feel strong. Every day is not going to be your best day out there. But what's important is that you're valuing yourself. So come back to that. Come back to your peace. You may be a little disconnected from others right now. That's okay. Connect with those that you can trust and let them help in rebuilding your faith in yourself, because those are the people you want in your circle. For those of you that chose the Violet Flame Agate, this one right here, we're going to be jumping into your reading with the Halloween Tarot, because it's that time of year. And beginning with the Five of Imps. Imps in this deck relates to wands. So I see there's a lot of commotion going on here. Group project, maybe some sort of collaboration, some sort of maybe even infighting or indecision in communities or families that you're a part of. And I'm actually getting that's none of your damn business. It's time to step back. It's time to, focus on your own things, because I feel like this is a distraction. Everyone's kind of trying to figure out their own way, their own piece here. And in order for you to be a collaborative group member, you should, take ownership of your own stuff. So in what ways are you being distracted by other people's emotions, issues, problems that is pulling away from the things that you actually have to focus on in yourself? And I think when you take a step back, you're going to find a little more strength in yourself, a little more confidence, a little more healing. So when you decide to jump back into this group dynamic, you'll have more to give, because you're giving from your saucer rather from only slightly filled cup. So to the left here, we got the Hierophant. And this Hierophant, he's got a lot of wisdom, but he's kind of muted. He's a little in the background there. He's mummified. And I feel like your voice is still working on gaining traction. You're still working on finding that confidence within yourself. And I think others are not used to hearing you yet. And I mean that in the way that you're doing a lot of inner work on yourself. And so I think when you emerge, I think you want it to be in a time where there's less distractions, there's less of this chaos, there's more focus on and energy for you to really be heard, because you deserve to be heard. You have a lot of wisdom to bring. And sometimes that's overlooked, and I don't want you to think that's your fault. But I do think there's a time and place to shine. And so this may not be the time where you're going to get the kind of validation that you deserve. And so kind of like what I was saying in my last reading, is you have to come back to yourself and give yourself that internal validation. And I think the more validation you give yourself, the more of a presence, and energy, like that helps you really fill out your energy sphere, and become more potent in the spaces you do occupy. And it's gonna help you to really be seen for the gifts that you bring. So what we have moving forward is the Nine of Cups, and this is wish fulfillment, but it's also, working on your own stuff. And so I feel like there's a project or a passion that is like more uniquely yours. That's something you do on your own, whether that be art or finance or I don't even know, a sport you do. That that really is like something deep down that you've been craving to like get back into, to finish up, to close a cycle on, with the Nine of Ghost. I don't mean close it out of your life. I mean, maybe there's a project you want to wrap up and come to completion so you can start something new. So, what are those nagging things for you? And I mean nagging in the way that it's more of a longing. It's a heart longing. It's not a shame, or it's not coming from someone else. It's coming from within. That's the project that I think would most benefit from your intention. And I really think, again, coming back to that inner self, your inner work, and focusing on what really brings you joy is really going to push you that much further when you get back involved with that group dynamic. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. Remember to take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and take care. Bye, guys.